lifting the tree out of its pot by kind of gently squishing the pot, because the soil inside is kind of soft and spongy. So we're loosening it up. I'm just kind of rolling it back and forth really gently, and it should come right out, like such. You don't want to just pull it without squishing the pot, because you could just rip the tree off of its roots. That's not what you want. So now that we have this, I'm going to cut some lines in it and help to spread it, because you can see the roots are growing around in a circle. That's what's called root bound. It's really bad, and it'll eventually kill your plant. At the very least, it'll make it deformed and stunted and not produce anything. So we got these cheap, and this is probably why. So I'm just making little cuts. And you'll see why here in a second. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is pull the areas that I've cut. This is gently for a tree, by the way. It doesn't look very gentle, but I'm not ripping. I'm just kind of loosening. See how the roots are growing all kinds of directions but down? That's not good. So we want to kind of loosen this up a little bit. It's kind of like giving it a foot massage.
My feet ache even in these tight shoes.
Yeah. My mother used to say, tall man in little tiny shoes. Ah, see, actually, you can see what happened here. Someone did something dumb. This is not burlap, this is string, and it looks like, well, as long as it's cotton string, it's okay, but it looks like it has elastic in it. And that is going to hurt the tree. So we're discovering why this tree was only €9. It was one of the last ones available of its kind. So I'm just kind of ripping this open as best as I can. I'm gonna liberate the tree roots. Yeah, you can see it's stretchy. It's elastic. That's horrible. Okay, I think we may need to get a pair of scissors.
So what happened?
Well, whoever did this did a really shitty job of potting this tree when they got it. I don't know whether this happened at the nursery that we got it at, or whether the nursery receives them this way. We're going to find out pretty soon, because we got two other trees for them yesterday. This is obviously intended to cheat the customer. This is not going to produce a healthy tree. This is going to be a tree that stays exactly the same size, and it will die within a year. It's completely contained.
Can we save it?
Find out.
You keep saying that. Are you a doctor, aren't you?
I don't know.
If I had discovered anything like this when I worked at a garden center in the States, I worked at this great, a very large garden center, but it's family owned, called Zanstra's in northwest Indiana. If Butch ever sees this, thank you, Butch. That was my first job ever. If we'd ever seen anything like this, we would have immediately pulled it off the floor and sent it back to the grower, and essentially been like, what the fuck? This is a dead tree. What did you do? You know, don't ever cheat us like this again. I'm wondering whether this is a standard in Spain. I'm a little concerned now.
Is this a dead man, Doctor?
I don't know. It might be. It may just look like it is viable. It's been so horribly constrained, and I'm not really seeing any real roots here. This is all kind of feathery end of root system. There's no developed roots of any kind to match the size of this tree. And then I just discovered down here, there's a stump. Let's see if I can find it to show the camera. See? There's a stump there, which means they cut the taproot off. I don't know if you can see it because of the lighting, but it's just a flat surface, and it shouldn't ever be like that. It should not be a flat surface. So they cut the taproot off to get it in this pot. Stupid little pot. So we'll plant it. I don't think there's a return policy in Spain.
Well, this one didn't look very good from the beginning, but it was the only one they had.
Yeah. Well, we have a cherry that looks even sorrier. There's a huge movement in Spain to get away from country living and agriculture. It's seen as backwards. Everyone there hates their job. No one likes plants. Everyone hates plants. You ask them questions, they get pissed off. So it's like in the States. It's a battle to get the information you need.
So you got a few roots there.
Yeah, we have some. Nothing compared to, this is like the size of something that you would buy that would be like a flower you plant in a flower bed in terms of roots. So.
And the tree's way bigger than the root.
General rule of trees, what you see above should be what you see below.
As above, so below.
Yeah, this is not happening here, clearly. Though, to be fair, maybe I should have noticed that it's starting to twist, so that would be evidence that the roots were twisted inside the pot.
How crazy. This is going to be sort of a rescue project. We'll see if we can get an actual tree grown from this.
Yeah, well, we've got some really good organic tree food. We've got kind of organic plant guru in the valley that he had sold our landlord for her lemon trees. So we'll try that, and we've got as much of the roots freed as we're going to have, and we're going to just kind of carefully spread them in the hole and hope for a miracle, I guess, at this point. We want to make sure that this part here is 2 inches above the ground. So now that I've got nothing underneath, I'm going to have to put a lot more dirt in the hole.
Now we actually chopped the leaves off because they were mildewing, but it did have live leaves on it, so it looked pretty promising.
And you can see too, you've got new buds starting already. So we thought it would be a very viable option, I mean, from what we had available there at the store. So we'll see. I mean, we'll give it lots of special attention. I'm definitely going to stake it so it can't get tipped over because it has nothing in the ground to hold it up, really. So we have some rocks there to help it not slide downhill as well. We'll see. This is new growth here. This is all since the fall rain started, which has only been about a month. So it seems to be growing vigorously.
You get it here, here.
Yeah, all these parts here, you see the kind of
the brown.
The greenish brown color. That's all brand new. So
It needs to grow some roots if it's going to live, and hopefully we can make it do that now.
Yep.
So we planted the last couple of trees after that nightmare with the first tree from that store, and this is our cherry tree. The label just says cherry, so we know it's going to be a sweet cherry. It wasn't covered in elastic, but the taproot was cut on this one so it could fit in the pot and look pretty. So it's more likely someone will buy it, but maybe not going to survive. We're going to try to help it though. And then up here we've got a golden plum. I'm going to meet up with Anna and she can talk about it a little bit.
Is a little bit older than they typically recommend. It's about 4 years old rather than 3. They typically say don't plant anything older than 3 years that you buy at the nursery. But we're going to give it a try. It did have some good roots that were wrapped in a circle, but you could see that it had more mature roots. They're about the size of my finger, and they've been cut off. So again, no taproot. The taproot had been cut off, and we'll see if it works.
So on the top of this we've got a lot of, the stray rocky dirt, but that's only what we put on the top. Actually underneath we used some leftover soil from the former garden, so that's good soil underneath, and this is kind of like acting as almost like a mulch really. Mm-hmm. And we did not use the soil from the actual pot. You want to talk about why we didn't do that?
The tree had really bad mildew, and anytime a tree has mildew or any other kind of disease, if you use a tool on it, you want to sterilize the tool. Rubbing alcohol works. Boil it, because you don't want to contaminate any of your other trees, because it's contagious. They can all get the same disease and die. So this one had mildew, so we didn't use the dirt, we didn't use the pot, and we're going to go wash our hands and wash any scissors or pruning tools we used as well.
but not letters.